Camping is supposed to be about peace. Fresh air, crackling fires, a break from the noise of the city. But sometimes, the wilderness isn't peaceful at all. Sometimes, it hides something watching, waiting. This is the chilling story of a young couple who went camping deep in the forest in 2017. By morning, their tent was nothing but ashes, their car still parked nearby, and their belongings untouched. The only clue left behind? Words carved into a tree trunk, "He's watching us." And to this day, no one knows who or what they were running from. It was Memorial Day weekend, 2017. 24-year-old Daniel Reeves and his girlfriend, 19-year-old Hannah Myers, decided to go camping in Oregon's Deschutes National Forest. They weren't experienced outdoors people, but they thought it would be fun. 2 days under the stars, just the two of them. Daniel was a construction worker, quiet but dependable. Hannah was an art student who loved sketching landscapes. Friends said the couple had been inseparable since meeting a year earlier. They packed light, just a small tent, sleeping bags, backpacks with food and water, and Hannah's sketchbook. They borrowed Daniel's father's old SUV and drove into the forest. Rangers later confirmed that at 6:42 p.m. on May 27th, a park camera caught their vehicle entering a back road near Elk Lake. They parked in a primitive site, no amenities, no neighbors, just woods. Nothing seemed unusual, at least not yet. A fisherman camping a mile away reported hearing faint music that evening, possibly a Bluetooth speaker, echoing through the trees. Around 10 p.m., he recalled hearing laughter, then a car door slam. Then sometime after midnight, he claimed he heard something stranger, what he described as a woman screaming once, and then silence. He assumed it was kids fooling around and didn't investigate. Those were the last sounds anyone ever heard from Daniel and Hannah. At 8:12 the next morning, rangers patrolling the area noticed smoke. When they arrived at the campsite, they found the couple's tent completely burned down. Only blackened poles and melted nylon remained. But here's what's bizarre. The fire hadn't spread. It stopped right at the edges of the tent. Their backpacks and food sat nearby untouched. Hannah's sketchbook was open, its pages charred at the edges, but still legible. Most chilling of all, carved deeply into the trunk of a pine tree near the fire pit were 3 words: "He's watching us." No footprints, no drag marks, no sign of struggle. Daniel's SUV was still parked neatly at the campsite, keys in the ignition. But Daniel and Hannah were gone. Police and rangers searched the surrounding forest for 5 days. Helicopters, dogs, volunteers, nothing. The fire department ruled that the blaze was deliberate but contained. Someone had poured an accelerant on the tent and set it alight. But why burn the tent and not the belongings around it? Detectives scoured Hannah's sketchbook. On the last page, drawn in rushed pencil strokes, was a rough outline of the campsite. In the margins, she had scribbled 2 words: "Not alone." Investigators had no leads. Some believed the couple was targeted by a predator familiar with the forest. There had been reports of a strange man seen lurking around trailheads in the weeks prior. Witnesses described him as tall, with a long beard, staring at hikers but never speaking. Could he have stumbled upon their sight? Friends of Hannah reported she'd recently argued with an ex-boyfriend who didn't want to let her go. He had once threatened, "You won't see him coming." Police questioned him, but never found evidence connecting him to the scene. The carving, "He's watching us," sparked online forums to suggest something more sinister. Some claimed it was evidence of a stalker living deep in the woods, a watcher in the pines. Others believed Hannah and Daniel encountered something they couldn't explain, something they feared enough to leave a desperate warning. Months passed. No bodies. No new evidence. By 2018, the case was considered cold. Daniel's father visited the site 1 year later. He left flowers and found the words still carved into the tree, weathered but visible. Locals say campers still report strange things in that forest. Voices at night, the sound of footsteps circling tents, and carvings appearing on trees without explanation. To this day, no trace of Daniel or Hannah has ever been found. Their families are left only with questions, and the haunting warning carved into wood: "He's watching us." So what happened that night in May 2017? Did Daniel and Hannah stumble across a predator in the forest? Were they forced to abandon their camp in terror? Or was their disappearance something darker, something beyond human explanation? One thing is certain: two young people walked into the woods, and by morning they were gone. Their car remained. Their belongings remained. Their final warning remained. But Daniel and Hannah? They vanished. And the forest has kept its secret ever since. So what do you think? Who or what was watching them? Let me know your theory in the comments. And if you found this story chilling, subscribe, like, and share for more unsolved mysteries. Because this is just one of many stories that still demand answers. And remember, when you zip up your tent at night, alone in the wilderness, ask yourself, who might be watching?